What if I told you that Alzheimer's disease is not just an inevitable tragedy of old age or bad genetics? Top neurologists around the world are now quietly calling it type 3 diabetes. Right now, the very thing you ate for breakfast could be silently destroying your brain cells, and you have absolutely no idea. For decades, a billion-dollar industry has built a trap selling you foods that slowly starve your mind. But in this video, I am going to reveal the brutal truth they refuse to tell you. I will show you the exact biological mechanisms behind this cognitive decline, and more importantly, how you can reset your brain at the level of molecular biology before it is too late. We have all heard the standard nutritional advice. You need carbs for energy, and your brain needs sugar to function. But the horrifying truth is, that is the most dangerous lie we have been forced to believe. To understand why your memory slips, why you experience constant brain fog, and why dementia is skyrocketing, we have to look deep inside your head, specifically at a physiological barrier known as the blood-brain barrier. This is the ultimate security system of your brain, designed to let nutrients in and keep neurotoxins out. Your neurons, the delicate cells responsible for every memory, thought, and emotion you have ever had, require a massive amount of energy to survive. Historically, they got this energy from a balanced, natural diet. But today, we are flooding our bodies with refined carbohydrates and processed sugars. When you eat that bowl of sweet cereal or that low-fat, heart-healthy granola bar, your blood sugar spikes. In response, your pancreas pumps out insulin. Insulin is simply a key. Its job is to unlock the doors of your cells so that glucose can enter and be burned for energy. But when you spike your blood sugar day after day, year after year, the locks on those cellular doors become damaged. They stop responding to the key. This is called insulin resistance. And here's the craziest part. For a long time, doctors thought insulin resistance was only a problem for your body, leading to weight gain and type 2 diabetes. We now know through extensive clinical research that your brain can become insulin resistant too. I get incredibly frustrated and deeply heartbroken when I see older adults blindly following outdated dietary guidelines. They load up on supposedly healthy whole grains, sweet fruits, and sugary yogurts, wondering why their cognitive function is slipping away. It is not just natural aging. It is a severe metabolic crisis happening right inside their skulls. Imagine your neurons swimming in an ocean of sugar. There is plenty of glucose circulating in the blood, but because the insulin receptors on the brain cells are completely deaf and broken, the sugar cannot get inside. Your brain cells are literally starving to death in a sea of plenty. The energy crisis is profound, and it is silently destroying your cognitive reserves. This drop in brain glucose metabolism does not just happen overnight. Advanced brain imaging and clinical research show that this localized starvation begins 10, 20, or even 30 years before the very first symptom of Alzheimer's disease ever appears. Think about that. By the time someone starts forgetting where they put their keys or cannot remember a loved one's name, their brain has already been starving for decades. The biochemical reactions driving this process are ruthless. It doesn't stop there. When your neurons are starved of energy, they cannot perform their basic maintenance. Every cell in your body needs energy to clear out waste, but without fuel, your brain's internal cleanup machine completely shuts down. They cannot communicate across synapses, they cannot repair damaged DNA, and they certainly cannot defend against the toxic buildup that leads to rapid cellular decay. In other words, the sugary, highly processed diet that the modern food industry relentlessly pushes on us is essentially triggering a slow-motion biological disaster. You are not just losing your mind randomly. Your mind is being systematically deprived of its essential fuel, forced into a state of chronic energy failure. And the tragedy of this energy failure is that it triggers another catastrophic cascade deep inside your brain. Have you ever heard of amyloid beta plaques? These are the sticky, toxic proteins that clump together and smother the neurons in the brains of Alzheimer disease patients. For years, the pharmaceutical industry has focused entirely on creating billion-dollar drugs designed to dissolve these plaques. But the brutal truth is, these incredibly expensive treatments often act like nothing more than a high-priced placebo. Why? Because they are treating the symptom, not the root cause. They are trying to clear the smoke while the fire of insulin resistance is still raging out of control. Here is the secret they refuse to tell you. Your body actually has a built-in microscopic cleanup crew called the glymphatic system. It is a highly specialized network that operates almost exclusively while you sleep. During deep, restorative sleep, your brain cells literally shrink, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to rush in and wash away the neurotoxins and metabolic waste, including those dangerous amyloid beta proteins. It is a flawless biological cleanup machine. But there is a massive catch. Chronic high levels of insulin in your bloodstream completely paralyze this delicate system. When your insulin is constantly elevated from a diet packed with hidden sugars and processed carbohydrates, your brain's natural drainage system shuts down. The toxic garbage piles up. The plaques begin to form. This is not a random genetic curse. It is the direct physiological consequence of a broken metabolic environment. Have you ever watched someone you love slowly lose their memory? The pain of seeing a parent or grandparent look at you with blank, unrecognized eyes is a trauma I would not wish on my worst enemy. That is why I am so fiercely passionate about getting this information to you. We have been completely blinded by a system that waits for the brain to be irreversibly destroyed before offering a pill. But right now, I want you to listen very carefully, because there is a biological miracle waiting to happen inside your own body. You do not have to be a helpless victim to cognitive decline. There is a gold standard solution to bypass this entire broken system, rescue your starving neurons, and potentially reverse the aging process of your mind. It is called metabolic flexibility. If your brain cells are insulin resistant, they cannot use glucose. The locks are broken. But your brilliant biology has an alternative backup fuel source, a far more efficient and much cleaner energy called ketones. When you drastically reduce your intake of refined carbohydrates, sugars, and toxic seed oils, your liver begins burning your stored body fat to produce ketones. And this is the most insane part. Ketones do not need insulin to enter your brain cells. They effortlessly cross the physiological barrier, completely bypassing the broken insulin receptors, and flood your starving, desperate neurons with pure, life-saving energy. Imagine the lights turning back on in a dark, abandoned house. That is exactly what happens in your brain. This is not some silly internet trend or an unproven folk remedy. This is a profound biochemical reaction at the cellular level. When patients adopt a proper ketogenic lifestyle or practice strategic intermittent fasting, they frequently report that their brain fog vanishes in a matter of days. Their memory sharpens, their focus becomes laser clear. This is not magic, it is pure science. Ketones are like a premium high-octane fuel that generates significantly less oxidative stress on your delicate brain tissue. Furthermore, they literally stimulate the production of something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of this as a miracle fertilizer for your brain. It actively encourages the growth of brand new neural connections and physically rebuilds the damaged networks. This is what true, deep cellular healing looks like. You are literally initiating a profound reset of your entire nervous system. You are taking the power back from the processed food corporations and giving your body the exact tools it needs to revive itself. Alzheimer's disease is not an absolute death sentence written permanently in your DNA. In so many cases, it is the cumulative result of the choices made in the kitchen over decades. So I leave you with this question. Are you going to continue feeding the industry that profits endlessly off your sickness and cognitive decline? Or are you going to wake up, cut the toxic sugar, and start saving your memories today? The power to protect your mind is literally on the end of your fork. If this video opened your eyes and helped you understand the real science behind brain health, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this vital information with someone you love. Let us spread the truth and save our minds together. Thank you for watching.